Welcome in, Hokie Nation. Happy Monday, and welcome into TSL today. I'm Giovanni Heater. Across the way, Carter Hill. Behind the scenes, Kyle Marshak. Man, it's starting to get chilly here in Blacksburg, but the basketball teams are red hot. We got a lot of good stuff for you. The transfer portal in college football is upon us. Plenty of news and updates to cover. We got it all here for you. TSL today on a Monday from Blacksburg. Thank you so much for joining us on your Monday evening ride home. However you may viewing or listening, whether you're on YouTube or Spotify, we really appreciate your support and really welcome any feedback as well for more stuff you'd like to see, hear, listen to on the show. It really does help us put out our best product. Again, Carter Hill across the way, Kyle Marshak behind the scenes. I'm Giovanni Heater. Carter, let's get right into it. Let's talk about this transfer portal here for college football. It was opened today. And man, has it already made a big-time splash.
It's spreading like wildfire. It's absolutely ridiculous what is happening in college football right now. I mean, just the transformation of the industry. Virginia Tech already has 10 transfer portal entrants, and that's not just it. Like, we look across the ACC, we look across college football, the conference already has 6 of its starting quarterbacks that have entered the portal. We look at Virginia Tech right now, the likes of DJ Harvey, Armani Chapman, Caleb Smith, they've all already entered the portal looking for homes elsewhere. It truly is a new era, and not even just with the portal. Scott Satterfield is leaving Louisville to be the head coach of Cincinnati, the team that his former team is about to play in a bowl game in a couple weeks. Very strange day in college football particularly, and it's only going to continue to grow when it comes to the portal over the next couple of weeks.
No doubt about it. So to go down the list of Virginia Tech players currently in the portal, DJ Harvey was the first to enter the portal. Matthias Carroll is in the portal. Lakeem Rudolph, both of those two defensive end. Desmond Mahmoudi, a defensive tackle, is in. Armani Chapman, who played pretty much every single game this season, barring injury, from Virginia Beach, a redshirt senior, has entered the portal. Caleb Smith, with 1 year of eligibility left, Virginia Tech's leading receiver, number 1 receiver, has entered the portal. Long snapper Enzo Anthony entered the portal. Keyshawn Artis, linebacker out of Chesapeake, another redshirt senior, has entered the portal. And Jason Brown, if he is granted 1 more year of eligibility, he is officially in the transfer portal as well. So William Kakavitsis is the 10th. He has entered the transfer portal. As of this moment, it is currently 3:45 p.m. Monday, December 5th, 2022. There are 10 Hokies in the portal. That could change in the next 5 minutes. So yeah, we had to document when it is, but a lot of news coming out all day long about it.
Yeah, like I just mentioned, I mean, to already have 10 people in the portal, it's pretty unprecedented, and we're seeing this all across the country. I mentioned it with the starting quarterbacks in the ACC. The fact that Devin Leary, who's been at NC State for 5 years, is now in the portal, it really just speaks volumes to where we're at when it comes to college football. Keaton Slovis has entered the portal because Phil Dracovic, the former quarterback at Boston College, is on his way to the Steel City.
Who started at Notre Dame.
Who started at Notre Dame, who started at Boston College, and now he's with the Pitt Panthers. So yeah. I don't know what to think of it, because I really do think the transfer portal is a good thing, and we know it's going to continue to get worse and continue to spread even more year in and year out. It's so strange, though, to see college football be treated like free agency now. I don't know your thoughts on it, but the fact that we're seeing now players leaving left and right, and they essentially, like, there can be a star player at any given school. There's a starting offensive tackle at Alabama. Forgive me, I forget his name. He entered the portal today. Yeah. And he's going to go elsewhere. Just a new era of college football, man.
Well, here's my thoughts on it, and it's like, how do you qualify to have an opinion? Love the portal. Think it gives opportunity to guys to go elsewhere. It also helps you have the ability to build your team quicker. A rebuild is quicker when you don't have to necessarily develop freshmen right from your program. Like, you can instantly get a little bit better with additions from the portal as a program. Here's my great gripe with it, I guess. Why right now? Because now you're taking so much meaningful football away with bowl season. I mean, look at Pitt. They got a great opportunity in a good bowl game to go play in the Sun Bowl, to play against a team in the Pac-12, and Now their quarterback's not even going to play in that ball game. There's no way he plays for Pittsburgh in that game. And that's just one example. How, like, I understand when guys leave, when they have the opportunity to go to the NFL and make a lot of money, and there's money on the line. A guy like Kenny Pickett last year, and stuff like that. Kenneth Walker in that same game.
Garrett Wilson, cornerback for Ohio State, skipped out on the Rose Bowl to go to the NFL.
Right. And it happens all the time. But when it comes to transferring, you're not going to play in these bowl games. You're not going to ride with your team because you're transferring. You know, sometimes it's the case where guys are transferring up to go play. Like, look at Jahmyr Gibbs at Georgia Tech going to play up at Alabama and be one of the best running backs in the country. I just think that's why it's so good the playoff system is moving to 12, because now you are going to get more meaningful football. But really the only meaningful football left is the 2 semifinal games and the national championship game. That's it. Because
100%.
even like you said, the Rose Bowl, star players aren't going to play in big games like that.
Which is so sad because the Rose Bowl, as they say, the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah.
But no longer the granddaddy of them all.
Unless it's a semifinal game.
Unless it is a semifinal. That's very, very true. And now it will be. Yeah, I mean, that, not to open this can of worms, but it's another reason why it's a good thing we're headed to a 12-team playoff, because it, you know, improves the meaningful football left to be played later this year. I don't know. I do like the idea of the transfer portal, and this is not specific to Virginia Tech. Like, I get why all these 10 guys are leaving, whether it is a transfer portal thing, well, whether or not it is a playing time thing, whether or not it is a better opportunity thing, like a Caleb Smith. He can go be a part of a more dynamic offense. I mean, we all know how bad Virginia Tech's offense was this year, so he can be a part of a more dynamic offense. Jason Brown, if he gets that 7th year, he wants an opportunity to finally play. You know, he played a little bit at South Carolina. Understandable.
Yeah.
You know, he played a little bit at South Carolina. Didn't really get his opportunity at Virginia Tech.
Beat Florida.
Beat Auburn. Really good quarterback at St. Francis at the FCS level, and now can go elsewhere and maybe have an opportunity to do something maybe at the Group of 5 level. We'll see if he gets that 7th year. I hope he does. So for others, you know, I get it. It really does make sense for a lot of people, whether it's playing time, whether it's better opportunity. But for a lot of people too, I'm a little like, I just don't know. Is the grass really greener on the other side? And again, I'm not pinpointing anything when it comes to Virginia Tech. I'm pinpointing everything when it comes to college athletics and college football.
Well, I did a project on this last year in one of my classes, and I don't know the exact number at this point in time. I did when it was relevant to last year. Those numbers obviously could have changed up to this point, but to put it in a broad spectrum, it is no guarantee that you land anywhere.
100%.
There's guys that enter the portal, even from bigger schools that enter the portal, and then they don't end up getting a landing spot, and all of a sudden their scholarship's gone. They're no longer playing collegiate athletics. Like, what do you do at that point?
So they're also, speaking of 3:45 p.m., as of 3:50 p.m., there is now an 11th transfer portal entry. It is Tink Boyd, a reserve wide receiver. He is somebody who could go elsewhere and better opportunity at the Group of 5 FCS level. But yeah, transfer portal has really changed everything when it comes to college athletics.
I mean,
everything.
With
NIL now too,
as we speak.
Oh, 100%. I mean, look at what is Deion Sanders going to do at Colorado? The transfer portal is that's going to be good for that in his favor. 100%.
No doubt about it. I mean, okay, so I kind of want to take this conversation into this, and it's very, very broad, and it's very all speculation, but it is fun to have, and we'd love to hear your comments as well as far as what you think about this. Who do you want to see Virginia Tech target? I'm just going to put it out there and say, like, why not? It probably will never happen.
Look in the camera.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen, but why not toss it out there? I want DJ Uyunglele. Make it happen.
I got to believe Virginia Tech is going to add a quarterback. Like, you asked me before we went on the show, is Grant Wells going to be the starter next year? And what was my response? He's going to have to earn it. I think they're going to add another quarterback. And that also means if Grant Wells is going to be the starting quarterback, he's going to be much improved next year.
Here's the problem.
What's the problem?
You can only, and I have to give credit to Chris Coleman for this, you can only add so much talent to the point where you still have to be coached. And I don't think necessarily I don't think the quarterback position specifically was a talent issue, because the numbers show that Grant Wells would have been better off staying at Marshall as far as his what his product that he would have put on the field.
Yeah.
And I don't think that has anything to do with Grant Wells as much as it does the coaching he had and the players that he had around him.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. He's going to have to earn the starting spot next year, though. Jason Brown's not going to be in the picture. Devin Farrell.
I want to see
Probably,
Devin Farrell play.
I don't know. He could need another year. Maybe he competes for the job. Who knows? Who knows? Who really knows? I don't see DJ Uiagalelei coming to Virginia Tech, especially being a West Coast guy. There are a couple quarterbacks out there they could potentially target.
Maybe Keaton Slovis.
I'd be surprised.
His
name is escaping me.
You typically don't go in your conference either. Although
Filcher-Kovic's going to Pitt. Yeah.
I mean, there's no rules. That's the thing. Like in the NFL, a lot of the times teams will say, you want to get traded? Fine, we'll trade you, but we're not trading you in the division. We don't want to have to play you twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, with blockbuster trades and these guys requesting trades or demanding trades, the team, a lot of times their hands are cuffed a little bit and they're like, fine, we'll trade you, but we're not trading you in the division.
Well, there are 4 and 5 with Jurkovec, although he's now off the board. There are and were 5 ACC quarterbacks that are going to be sought after. Jurkovec's now gone. He's going to remain in the ACC. Jeff Sims will be a hot commodity. DJ Uiagalelei.
Twitter is blown. Tech fans are saying they want Jeff Sims.
I can't see Jeff Sims coming to Virginia Tech, though. I mean, if he's leaving Georgia Tech, he wants to be involved in a better offense.
Well, it also seemed like, and we don't want to speculate, but it could have been a culture issue there.
Yeah, but Brent Key's now remaining the head coach.
Yeah.
You got something, Kyle? Spencer Sanders at Oklahoma State. That's not in the ACC, but yes, he entered the portal. Quarterback, yes. QB. Probably will not.
We're saying DJU.
Yeah, 100%.
I want Max
Brennan
Duggan.
Armstrong.
he's not going to transfer, but I want him.
Brennan
he just
Armstrong.
plays with so much heart.
Brennan Armstrong left Virginia. He's going to be a hot commodity.
Yeah, there's no way he
and
can.
Then
can you imagine
that would
blockbuster
be something.
Trade goes from
that would
UVA
be something.
to
That
Tech.
would be like Johnny Damon signing with the Yankees after he left the Red Sox.
That would be like, or Judge going to the Sox.
Oh my gosh! Don't even remind me. I am stressed about Aaron Judge. And then Devin Leary may be the most sought after quarterback in the transfer portal. People forget about how dang good Devin Leary is.
I know. There's no way we could contend for that. Could we?
No. I'm not saying he's going to be a target for Virginia Tech, but there are some quarterbacks out there. His name's escaping me. Christian starts with a V, back up from Penn State. Has connections to Brent Fry, Tyler Bowen.
He was heavily recruited by Syracuse.
He'll probably,
I guarantee you, my guess, he'll go to Syracuse. But
with Garrett Schrader coming back?
True. But Syracuse was his second choice. They heavily recruited him. Now I guess they're heavily recruiting him again. I always got to bring up Cuse. You guys know that.
Christian V-Lukes?
Yeah.
Something like that?
I don't know.
I'm looking at an Austin Reed from Western Kentucky. Apparently he's a guy who could land at the
Austin Reed from Western Kentucky is drawing interest from Virginia Tech?
I don't want any more of that upgrade from, like, it showed that it didn't really work this past year.
Yeah, well,
because you can't promise a guy can compete at the ACC level.
But here's the thing.
I want a Power 5 guy.
Here's the thing. How can you convince a Power 5 quarterback who played to come to Virginia Tech
for a 3-8 team? I know. I like how Brent Pry answered that question that Zach Mackey asked him at Tech Talk Live. He basically said, other schools are literally actively recruiting against us, saying, why would you go there? They went 3-8. They won 3 games.
Which they'd be silly
Why
not
would you
to.
go there? They're one of the 10 worst offenses since 1980 statistically, according to Chris Coleman and that dive we did a couple weeks ago. So it's like, obviously they're going to actively recruit against Tech. So Pry said he has to sell them on the culture. This is the vision. This is what we want to do. We want you to be a part of it. You just got to believe in it. And Dino Babers has that quote, belief without evidence.
Yeah, true. I can't say I know that as much as you do, but no, I think I don't know about specific quarterbacks Tech would want to add yet. He's somebody, the guy at Penn State, to watch out for. The one guy I would love to see the Hokies add, and it's going to be tough. He's a former Power 5 receiver, and he actually beat the Hokies this year at ODU, and that's Ali Jennings III.
You said that.
He's a Highland Springs guy from right outside of Richmond, and he's getting all the Power 5 attention you possibly could ask for. So I think it's going to be tough, but if he's looking to stay in state and help rebuild this Virginia Tech offense, and with the Highland Springs connection to Virginia Tech, though he isn't coming straight out of high school, that would be somebody I would heavily pursue if I were Virginia Tech.
So I'm pulling up the 2023 college football transfer portal right now. Let's just go to quarterback. Devin Leary is the highest rated one. DJU is second. Hudson Card from Texas is third. Guy from Ole Miss, Jeff Sims is in here. Guy from Baylor, Western Kentucky, the one that Kyle was talking about. Miami of Ohio, Brennan Armstrong, Malik Hornsby from Arkansas. Like, there's some solid even quarterbacks in here. I don't know. It's just
There's a couple public offers that Virginia Tech has extended to
Cade
guys in the
McNamara
portal.
committed to Iowa.
Yes, he did. Couple public offers that Virginia Tech has extended to guys in the transfer portal. Gage Keys,
Yep.
a defensive line transfer from Minnesota. Gavin Holmes, a cornerback transfer from Wake Forest, who currently has offers from Texas, Arkansas, Virginia Tech, Houston, Kansas, Tulane, and Memphis.
Who's the worst team on that list last year? Record-wise, it's Tech. Tulane's about to play in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah. Where did Houston finish this year?
It wasn't a great year for Dana Holgerson, but record-wise, they did not win 3 games. They won more than that.
And then there was one more I noticed as well.
Houston went 7-5. It's not a bad year.
Okay.
5-3 in conference play.
So yes, you're right. Virginia Tech was the worst on that list.
Statistically, is the worst.
Sean
Drew Pines in the
Collins.
portal from Notre Dame.
Yes, and his uncle, I know he went to Virginia Tech. I think he played at Virginia Tech. So his uncle played at Virginia Tech.
I
think
feel like
it's
I've heard that
Jim
before.
Payne is his name. I wish Chris or Will or David were in here to correct me if I was wrong. Sean Collins, a defensive end transfer from Rutgers, is also in the transfer portal. He is somebody Virginia Tech has publicly pursued.
There's some talent out in the portal. It's very hard to get a guy when you won 3 games, and that's going to be the challenge that Tech faces.
That's going to be the challenge that it really will test Brent Pry's vision and what he sells to recruits, because you have to get creative.
You have to be a salesman.
You have to
be a salesman.
Have to be a salesman. You have to say, here's what we're selling. Are you going to buy? You want to be a part of our rebuild? I mean,
Well, that's
you
the
can
thing.
you can sell the history too and say we can get back to this, but that was so long ago. I mean, the kids growing up now, like, we don't remember. We weren't even alive when Michael Vick took Virginia Tech to the national championship game.
You know how hard it is too? Like, you got to get a guy that's like a sophomore, junior. There's no way you can get a guy that has 1 year of eligibility left. Here, come spend your last year rebuilding.
Yeah,
Like,
that's right.
No, they don't want to do. Their goal is to go somewhere and win their last year. Like, some of these guys just want to play in a bowl game their last year in college.
100%. You have to rebuild, and you have to get guys with multiple years left that are out of the transfer portal.
So and the biggest thing, transfer portal or not, gotta develop the guys you already have and develop the guys that you're gonna bring in.
Yeah.
Because you can't just expect a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs is one example, or like Jordan Addison is one example, or like Rattler or whatever, of guys that you can just plug in and they're instantly gonna be that good. But
very few out there.
Very few.
Grant Wells
out
didn't
there.
fit that bill.
No.
A lot of people thought Grant Wells may potentially fit that bill.
And, yeah.
Was that unfair? Probably. But that didn't happen here. It certainly didn't happen here. And it most certainly did not happen in the wide receiving core. Stephen Gosnell didn't perform here for whatever reason. The North Carolina transfer. Jaden Blue's the big one. I heard all about how good Jaden Blue was going to be at Virginia Tech. Put up awesome numbers at Temple.
But there's proof that you can develop guys, and I'm so sorry to bring up Syracuse again. Guy that couldn't even start at quarterback at Mississippi State, got moved to wide receiver, said, I don't want to play wide receiver, leaves Mississippi State, goes to Syracuse, was not good in his first year. Then starts playing under the right coaches, Robert Anae and Jason Beck, who turned Brennan Armstrong into a monster at UVA last season, ends up having a fantastic quarterback season. And that's all development, and that's all coaching. That has nothing to do with raw talent, because he couldn't even. I mean, you have to be talented, you have to be good, you have to want it. But that is all coaching, right there.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And I guess, not to go down this rabbit hole, but that's why there have been some concerns raised about the offensive coaching staff. Those transfers, where did Jaden Blue's production go?
Yeah. There was little to no production. There was little to no. David mentioned it on the podcast today. Even Caleb Smith did not have wide receiver one numbers.
The offensive line, with who they brought back, should have been one of the staples of this Virginia Tech team.
Yeah.
They all, at best, and Chris talks about it on the podcast all the time, so everybody knows, at best, the offensive line stayed the same from last year across the board.
Yeah.
Nobody got better. Some were worse. Parker Clements, graded out way worse than he did last year.
Yeah.
Johnny Jordan, same type of deal. Caden Moore, same type of deal.
Interesting. Well, this was a spirited and lively conversation. Someday I wanted to get to the point where we're literally arguing. That is quality sports talk radio.
We could do like an hour, 15-minute podcast on this, but we can't. We don't have the time.
It really is. It will continue to develop. Again, we'll have more news in the next 10 minutes, and we'll have more news for you on Wednesday when we come back. Virginia Tech with one of the biggest home wins that they've had. Actually, I can't really say that. They knocked off UVA. They've had some big home wins.
Biggest win of the season.
Biggest win of the season up to this point. Hokies men's basketball is in good shape. Women win in Knoxville. We'll cover it after this. TSL today on a Monday from Blacksburg.